Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are making some great single serving rice cooker meals. All right, if you're new here, hello, I'm Claire. Come on in, make yourself comfortable. Over here on this channel, I do a lot of cooking. I'm a frugal queen. If you like single servings, if you like the air fryer, the rice cooker, we love a small appliance over here. If any of that sounds good to you, definitely hit subscribe. Now, if you're not new here, you already know our girl, Jasmine. That's what we've named my rice cooker. And someone always asks, so we might as well just say it now. This is the Black & Decker 6-cup rice cooker, but you can use any old rice cooker, okay? I just use this one because it's very affordable. I will link it down below if you want this exact one. Very simple, one function, on and off. We love it. Anyway, that's what I will be using, but go to the thrift store. Go to a garage sale. You don't have to buy the one that I tell you to buy. So I know how much you guys love the single serving rice cooker recipes and meals. So today I am like totally on my own. My husband is traveling for work. The kids have school and they also have extracurriculars tonight. So today I'm basically on my own for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I thought I would show you on days like that I like to use my rice cooker for all of those things. And with that, let's get started. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, single serving in my rice cooker. All right, starting out for breakfast, we are going sweet today. We are making oatmeal, but we're doing it a little bit differently. We're going to add some different mix-ins that I've never done before. I just have regular oats. These aren't like quick cook. They're just regular oats. I also have flaxseed and also some chia seeds. We're really pumping up the fiber, the iron, little extra protein there. We love it. So we're starting with the oats. I'm going to do half a cup. I am mixing this in like a separate bowl. You'll see why in a sec. I'm doing a full tablespoon of chia seeds and a full tablespoon of flax. I wanted to add just a bit of sweetness, so I put like half a tablespoon of brown sugar in. You could skip this, or you could do honey or maple syrup. I also did a teaspoon of cinnamon. For my milk, I'm doing a full cup, but you could add more milk than this if you like your oatmeal to be thinner and more like soupy. I prefer mine to be more like a warm cookie. I always get someone telling me that my oatmeal is too dry. If you think it's too dry, then put more milk in. I'm not the boss of you. You can totally make the oatmeal how you like it. So the reason I did it in a separate bowl is I find with oats, it's better to put a little cooking spray on the bottom of the rice cooker. It can get a little sticky. So we're going to throw it in there, throw the lid on, move the little toggle over to cook. When it reaches the right temperature, because that's how this rice cooker works, when it reaches a certain temperature, it automatically moves over to warm. And there you go. This one took, it was like 15-ish minutes. I find that oats take less time to reach that temperature than rice. Gave it a little fluff. And you'll see, here's the texture. So if you do a 1-to-2 ratio, 1 part oats, 2 parts milk, this is what you're going to be working with. Now we wanted to up the protein just a little bit here for breakfast. And I decided to do that with powdered peanut butter, PB Fit. I'm using 1 tablespoon. I like it because you can make like a peanut butter sauce out of it really easily because you can control how thick or thin it is. And it's got a nice little protein boost in it. And I wanted this to be more like a peanut butter sauce rather than just like a scoop of peanut butter. So I drizzled that on top. If I'd had a banana, this would have been a great place to use it, but I didn't have a banana. So, oh well. And then I put a few chocolate chips on top because I really did want this to feel like I was eating a tasty little cookie. And it did. It did taste like a nice warm cookie. And I do prefer a sweet in the morning. It's a vibe. And I thought this was very filling. And I really did like the addition of those seeds. It worked out for me. I would do this again. Moving on to lunch. We're going vegetarian today, but you could add meat if you wanted to. We're doing a quinoa bowl. And we're starting with half of a red onion. I normally would go for like a white onion, but I didn't have one. And really, the name of the game in January is we're using up everything that we have. So I'm going to use what I got, which is a red onion. For our quinoa, look, I'm almost done with that too. We're using up everything today. Quinoa is so great in the rice cooker. I'm doing 1/4 of a cup. which is a huge serving of quinoa. It's great. It's high in fiber. It's got protein. I rinsed it first. And the ratio you have to remember is 2 to 1. So 1 part's quinoa, 2 parts water. So that's half a cup of water. I'm throwing my onion in there. And now for the beans. If you watch me, you know I'm trying to eat beans every day in 2026. So I'm doing half a cup of black beans. And don't worry, I'm using the leftover black beans to make breakfast burritos, meal prep them. So have a plan if you're going to use a partial can of something. We've also got a quarter of a cup of corn because that's what I had in the cupboard. I also have some taco seasoning. I meant to do a full teaspoon and then I realized that that was half a teaspoon. So I did 2 of them. I love a taco seasoning because it's all of your favorite taco-y bits already mixed up, which makes this super simple. You don't need a million ingredients to make a great meal. We can do this simply. I'm more likely to make the thing if the thing is easy. So we go ahead, plug it in, move it over to the cook function. After it reaches temperature for a certain amount of time, automatically goes to the warm function. This was about 20 some minutes. And a small afterthought, I thought we should put some cheese on this. So I grated just a little bit of sharp cheddar to throw on the top. And once it's over to the warm function, we just give it a little fluff. Guys, this was so good. I love quinoa. It truly is a superfood. If you don't cook with quinoa, you should try it. And now I just plated it up in a bowl. This could have been on a salad. This could be in a wrap. There are other things you can do with this. Let this just be the start of your imagination, okay? I threw a little salt on it and my cheese, keeping it simple today. And this was so incredibly filling and so nutrient dense. We have a lot of really solid ingredients in here and so simple. I love a quinoa bowl. If you watch me, then you know a lot of my rice cooker days include some sort of quinoa bowl. It's so versatile and so tasty. Moving on to dinner, I don't know what to call this. It's like a rice, cabbage, chicken bowl. And it's because I got this cabbage in a produce box and I never buy cabbage. I don't cook with cabbage. I, until this moment, thought I was not a cabbage fan. But guys, I've cracked the cabbage code. I figured out how to make it delicious. So I just took like a big chunk of it and I cut it up into nice little shreds. I would say, if I had to guess, that I shred about a cup of green cabbage. I'm not a sauerkraut girl. I'm not a cabbage roll fan. Um, but alas, I had the cabbage and we have to use what we have. So we've got about a cup of shredded cabbage. Then I had this kind of wonky carrot that also came in that produce box. So I also shredded that. A lot of times, these like firmer veggies, the smaller you get them, the easier they're going to cook in the rice cooker. I also had a chicken thigh I needed to use. I packaged them up individually and toss them in the freezer. That way I have one when it's just me and I have to cook for myself. And I'm just slicing it up and throwing some salt and pepper on that. Now for the rice. Look, I also have just a tiny amount of brown rice left. This is brown basmati rice. I love this. And even though this is kind of a large serving for everything we're putting in, I wanted to use the rest of it. So we are using half a cup. I did rinse it. And for rice, the basic ratio is 1 to 1. However, I wanted this to be like really soft, really tender. So I did pour a little bit more water in there. Also, brown rice sometimes can like be a little crunchy. So you might want a little bit more water. Then I'm just throwing all the things in the rice cooker. All of our veggies, our meat. Of course, you could skip the meat if you wanted to make this vegetarian. That would be fine too. We've got our garlic, jarlic as we call it in my house. Nice little scoop of that. And look, I just had a little bit of teriyaki sauce left. So we are going to get as much out of that bottle as we can. It worked out to be about a quarter of a cup. Just like the taco seasoning, a teriyaki sauce is great because it just really takes down the amount of ingredients in this. Instead of having to get all of the soy sauce and the sesame and the all the things, you can just put a pre-made sauce
inside. We love it. I did do a few shakes of soy sauce as well, but we're not complicating this too much. That's it. That's what we're doing. So I'm giving it a little mix, making sure everything is all dispersed equally. And just like we do every time with the rice cooker, all we're going to do is put the lid on, we're going to plug it in, and we're going to move that function over to cook. And somehow it just does this perfectly. The chicken is perfectly cooked. But of course, double check. I know not every rice cooker works exactly the same, so make sure you're not eating raw chicken. Give it a good, poke. You could use a thermometer if you wanted to. Now we're going to plate it up. And honestly, the way that that cabbage cooked, it's giving like interior of an egg roll plus rice, okay? And I decided to hit it with my favorite Japanese barbecue sauce. I get this at Aldi. It's so tasty. And I'm not gonna lie, this portion was way too big for me. Um, that half a cup of rice really expands into a lot of food, but I just couldn't leave a small amount left in that jar. So I just made it all and I used my leftovers to make fried rice the next morning. So it worked out perfect.
All right, you guys, that was my day of rice cooker meals. I hope it inspired you to get a little creative with your rice cooker. I was very pleased with everything I ate, so hopefully you liked it. Of course, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And of course, hit subscribe if you haven't already for more content like this. Shout out to our girl, Jasmine. Again, I will link her down below. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you in my next one. Bye!